This is Giovanni Garay, and I'm sharing to you about the social justice, rights of employees, and fair labor practice. So first, we try to remember these things about the history and evolution of social justice, notion of social justice in philosophy, social justice in the government. So the concept of social justice first arose in 19th century during the Industrial Revolution as attempts were made to promote more egalitarian societies and reduce the exploitation of certain marginalized groups due to the vast disparity between the rich and the poor at that time. So social justice initially focused on issues such as distribution of capital, property, and wealth due to the extreme levels of inequality and economic distress prevalent at that time. So because of inequality and during the history, during those times, so there was this social class structure, you know, to promote equality, among rich and poor. So today, social justice has shifted towards a stronger emphasis on human rights and improving the lives of disadvantaged and marginalized groups, no, who have historically faced discrimination in society. So this is the main purpose of social justice because of inequality at that time. So here we have now the social justice. So what are the notions of social justice? The notions embrace values such as equal worth of all citizens, so their equal right to meet their basic needs and need to spread opportunity and life chances as widely as possible. So in terms of so philosophy, social justice is a political and philosophical movement aiming for a division of resources and opportunities. So the division in here is must be equally divided among rich and poor to address those historical injustices. So in social justice and government, so these two cannot be separated. You know. While activists, advocates significantly influence the widespread emphasis of social justice in the world today, still the actual implementation of social justice policies lies and left, no, to administrators. Now, who are these administrators? So these are the government, the non-profit organizations, the foundations, agencies within the bureaucracy. So we may have these um, hatred. For example, if you have this injustice, experience injustice in your agency, but still we depend, no? We depend to their implementation. No? Such organizations are responsible for shaping public policies to address social justice issues. And as a result, political factors influence the extent to which social justice plays a role in policies shaped by the government and administrators of the day. We have the government and we have administrators, and they are the ones who implement the social justices. No? Sila dihapon ng matunong gihapon ta sila. So, what does it mean to value social justice? No? In here, everyone deserves equal economic, political, and social rights and opportunities. Social workers aim to open the doors of access and opportunities for everyone, particularly those in greatest need. No? The policies from the government sa atin is we have this national and local, no, government. And the services is rendered cascaded through maabot siya sa purok, no? Purok sa barangay, din sa purok. Then this the cascading, the way how the our services are rendered, no, in our government. So there are five principles of social justice. So we have first the access to resources. The question is, our uh, resources accessible? No? Accessible ba lahat yung mga resources natin? Many societies often offer a multitude of resources and services for their citizens. Yes, we have this healthcare, we have this food. Yeah. Sa atin is maraming food pag mayroong phenomena, mayroong bagyo, no? How about education and tertiary? We have these resources. Today we enjoy the free higher education, no? Free all tuition fees in the colleges sa public, no? And recreational opportunities. Meron yung basketball, mga sports, no? Meron tayo niyan. And however, unequal access to such services often exists. Meron pa rin. Kasi yung meron naman yung mga malalayong lugar, mga IPs, no? The marginalized still they are not enjoying these things, no? Meron pa rin sa atin. So, individuals from wealthy household among upper and middle classes are often better to afford to attend good schools, and they even send their children to private schools which offer a higher education, good and high education that leads to greater chance of obtaining jobs. And in contrast, sa lower class naman is fewer yung opportunities, no? And limited yung access of education for future generations, and continues the cycle of facing disadvantages. So, meron pa rin yung marginalized. No? Second is equity. Ano yung equity? Um, Individuals are given tools, specific tools to their needs and socioeconomic status in order to move towards similar outcomes. So I have here is an illustration to describe equality and equity, because these two terms are different. Sa equality, mayroon tayong giving people the same thing or tools and their outcome is to watch the game. Equality kasi same tool naman yung binigay sa kanila. They're given the same tools, the boxes, 3 boxes. However, uh, merong isa sa kanila hindi nakakita sa game. So, it's not equal, no? Equal yung tool pero hindi yung equal yung outcome, no? To watch the sport, no? And second is equity. They are given this specific need, no? Specific need. Yung hindi nakita, binigyan ng 2 boxes, no? To, it's equity. To serve, to cater the outcome to watch this out. So, tatlo sa kanila is nakakita ng game, no? So, this is how the equity and equality this is described, no? Next is participation. Refers to how everyone in society is given an opportunity to voice out, no, their opinions and concerns. So still our constitution has provided us the freedom of our expression. So democratic naman tayo. So meron tayong um, expression of our opinions, our concerns. Social injustice occurs when a small group of individuals makes decision for a large group, while some people are unable to voice their opinion. So, kailangan may group, ganoon ba? Para marinig yung mga expression ng mga hinanaing natin. So, hindi naman siguro. No. Hindi naman siguro. Describe natin yan later on. Fourth is we have the understanding the diversity, no? And appreciating the value of cultural differences. Mindanao is rich in cultures, no? Marami, multicultural kasi tayo, then rich tayo niyan. So ipagmayabang natin yan sa Imperial Manila na rich tayo. Na understanding diversity, policymakers are often better able to construct policies and take into consideration differences and exist among different social groups. So it is important to recognize that some groups face more barriers in society, and by considering inequities, policymakers and civil servants will be a stronger position to expand opportunities for marginalized and disadvantaged groups. Discrimination in employment on the basis of factors such as race, hindi ka pa makapagtrabaho kasi yung race mo, yung gender mo, ethnicity, sex, and age, and other characteristics are constant issues in society. Pag matanda ka na, hindi ka na bigyan ng trabaho. Pero sa ibang bansa, bigyan ka until 100 years old. Yung may nakita ko, 99 or 100 years old, ayun siya, nakapagtrabaho pa rin siya. So, hindi discrimination sa kanila yung age. No, and enforcing policies to countermand discriminatory practices are one way in which diversity is taken into consideration. When we embrace diversity, may it be in the culture that no, our culture. So we enjoy, no, we enjoy. But again, the policy is dependent on the government who holds the implementation. No? Government, the organization. Fifth, we have the human rights. No? Important principles of social justice and form of foundation part of the concept. Human rights and social justice are certainly interrelated, and it is impossible for one to exist without the other. So as the fundamental to society, human rights, the legal rights of individuals and governments, education, and individuals must be held responsible if they fail to ensure the upholding of these rights. So we have our own legal rights that is protected by the government. No? They are extremely important in many societies and are recognized internationally through institutions such as International Criminal Court and United Nations Human Rights Council. So, ano yung mga rights natin? So, as employees, we have these rights. No? The Bureau of Working Conditions and Staff Department of Labor and Employment compiled a list of basic rights that every worker is entitled to. These rights ensure the safety and health of all workers. First, we have these equal work opportunities for all. So, the state shall protect labor, promote full employment, provide equal work opportunity regardless of gender, race, or creed, yung mga beliefs, and regulate relations between employees and employers. So, yun. Second is our security of tenure. Secured yung tenure natin. Every employee shall be assured security of tenure. No employee can be dismissed from work except for just or authorized cause, and only after due process. So ano yung just cause and ano yung authorized cause? Yung just cause refers to wrongdoing committed by an employee. Si employee yung nagkakasala nito. Yung authorized cause, it's beyond the employee's fault. No, hindi ito employee's fault. Cause refers to economic circumstances. Maybe bankrupt o na-bankrupt ba yung tinatrabuhan mo. Hindi yung sa empleyado. Third is we have these work days and work hours. So an employee must be paid their wages for all hours work. If their work hours fall between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., they are entitled to night shift pay in addition to their pay for regular work hours. If they work overnight hours a day, they are entitled to overtime pay. Yan. And fourth, we have weekly rest day. So after 24 consecutive hours, after 6 days of work, shall be scheduled by an employer upon consultation with the workers. So meron tayong weekly rest day. Sa atin is we have no that in a week 5 days naman tayo magtatrabaho, pero yung iba meron pang mga another works pa rin. No? But we are given this opportunity to rest. Hindi naman tayo machine pag hindi mag-rest. Fifth, we have wage and wage-related benefits. Wage is the amount paid to an employee in exchange to the service rendered to their employer. So, wage may be fixed for a given period. Ayan. So, ano naman yung unfair labor practice? No, unfair labor practice. Unfair labor practice, no, are offenses, no, practices or offenses committed by the employer or labor organization which violate the constitutional right of workers and employees to self-organization. Yung self-organization meaning yung employee is meron siyang opportunity na to be registered, no, sa isang organization or union, or meron tayong union ng mga magagawa. Yan. Sa amin meron kaming faculty union, no, inside our in the college, no. So ULP, or yes, unfair labor practice acts are inimical to the legitimate interest of both labor and management. Inimical meaning harm, no, harmful. No? It may disrupt industrial peace and hinder the promotion of healthy and stable labor management relations. This is according to Article 248 of the Labor Code, as amended. So, what is the nature of ULP? No? Ano yung nature niya? Ang ULP is not only a violation of civil rights of both labor and management, but also a criminal offense against the state. No? Criminal ULP cases may be filed with the regular courts. No criminal prosecution may be instituted. However, without a final judgment from the NLRC that an unfair labor practice was committed, no? Pwede tayong magsampa ng kaso, but again, idaan natin sa tinatawag natin NLRC, yung the National Labor Relations Commission. Doon natin idaan yung mga hinanaing natin. No? So, yan. Next is, an agency commits ULP when it violates rights that the statute protects. So, ano yung mga pwedeng maging violation ng isang agency na tinatrabahuan natin? First is threatening an employee that her career would not go much further if she proceeded with her grievance. Second, transferring an employee to an undesirable job because she filed a ULP charge. Pwede ito. Eliminating employees' compressed work schedules without giving their union notice and an opportunity to bargain over change. Pwede pala ito. And refusing to grant an employee's request for a union representative during the investigatory interview when the employer reasonably fears discipline. So, these are all violations against the agency. And a union commits an ULP when it violates rights that the statute protects. Examples, refusing to process. Ito is, you are a registered member of a union, but they refuse to process a grievance because an employee is not a union member. Pwede ito. And threatening an employee for filing ULP charge. Pwede. And refusing to negotiate in good faith with an agency and calling participating in or supporting a strike work ay bawal pala ito. Stoppage or slowdown. So, these are all violations. And summary, social justice, the keyword is fairness, no? In relations between individual and society and equal access to wealth, opportunities, and social privileges in a society. And these are all ideal things, no? Ideal things you can ang gipang discuss. And the rights of the employees, every worker has the right to self-organization, to be a member, to be a registered member of a union, or to example, to form or join any legitimate workers union, free from interference of their employer or the government. So this is our right. Sa ULP naman, violate the constitutional right of worker and employees to self-organization. So, ito po. So, thank you for listening and have a nice day, everyone.